We're getting breaking news right now of the next date as far as the Ayodhya matter hearing is concerned. Remember, this is a matter pending in the Supreme Court, and there's been a lot of disappointment with several delays. But now we're getting to know that the Ayodhya hearing will take place at February 26, and my colleague Nalini Sharma is joining us with more details. Nalini.
Yes, Shivani, the notification has just been issued to the Supreme Court, and it says that the 5-judge bench that is going to be hearing the Ayodhya matter is listed for the 26th of February this month. The notification has been issued. It's been signed by the registrar of the Supreme Court. I think we can put up a screenshot of that notification on the screen right now. But it's been confirmed that the 5-judge bench will be constituted, and this is coming after we saw a delay in the entire hearing because Justice S.A. Bobde, one of the judges in the 5-judge bench, was not available due to medical reasons. Just last week, he came back and rejoined the Supreme Court where his bench was constituted again. And since then, we have been expecting that the notifications regarding the hearing should be pronounced soon. And today, the Supreme Court has communicated that on the 26th of Feb is when the bench will be constituted. And we can finally expect for the schedule of the entire Ayodhya hearing to be laid out on the February 26th.
Okay, so together with the schedule of how quickly this hearing progresses, Nalini, what else can be expected on this date of hearing?
Well, on the last date of hearing, when the matter had come up before the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice had clearly said, and the Chief Justice is Judge heading the bench, and he clearly stated that the Supreme Court was prepared to set out a schedule to decide how the final arguments are going to happen in the case. But that was the point when one of the advocates for the Muslim side, Rajiv Dhawan, had brought up an issue about how one of the judges was also a judge in the criminal proceedings against Kalyan Singh. So because of that, we'd seen a recusal in the bench, and after that, a new bench had been set up, which saw not one but two new judges, Justice Abdul Nazir as well as Justice Ashok Bhushan, were both added to the bench. And because the Chief Justice had communicated the last time around that the Supreme Court was ready to go ahead and set out a schedule, they'd also asked the registries to submit a report as to what the status of the documentation was. So we expect that the registry would have communicated that to the bench by now, because they were supposed to do that on the last hearing. But because of this change in bench, there was a slight delay. But now the new bench is finally ready to be constituted after Justice Bobde has also returned to decide cases in the Supreme Court. And the final date has been given as the February 26th. So what we're expecting, Shivani, essentially on the 26th of Feb to happen is for the Supreme Court to get communication from the registry regarding what the details of the documentation is, what is the status of the translations, because all of the documents that had come from the Allahabad High Court essentially were in Hindi, and there are also some Sanskrit books that multiple parties have relied on. So all of those needed to be translated.
Yeah.
So the
it remains
registry is going to inform the bench about that.
Yeah. Remains to be seen, Nalini, if there will be any more details on account of documents and things like that, because there is a great pressure now that is being mounted, and perhaps expectedly so, by the litigants in this case itself, who've been waiting for a long time for a resolution. And this is a constitution bench. Once the hearing begins, we expect it to be expedited, isn't it?
Absolutely. The fact that the Supreme Court is ready to set out a schedule, that essentially means that we can expect the final arguments to begin extremely.
Seem to have lost the line there with Nalini, but what the news is that the next hearing is on February 26. The schedule could be outlined as far as the further hearings are concerned. BJP MP Subramaniam Swamy also joining us. Remember, he's been very vocal on the issue. So your take on the next hearing date being set? The constitutional bench is all set to hear the matter.
Well, it's my view that let the Supreme Court hear what they want to hear. But for us to start building the Ram temple on the land which is in Ayodhya doesn't require any further intervention of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is considering only the title. The main thing the Supreme Court is considering the title whether it belongs to the Sunni Waqf Board or the Ram Janmabhoomi Nyas Samiti. And in the Allahabad High Court, of course, the Ram Janmabhoomi got it. So let them decide that, and after that, the government will pay compensation for the land and hand it over to the Hindus to continue building the temple.
Can I ask you one question though? If this was only being looked at as a title suit, even now, what do you make of the fact that a constitutional bench has been constituted? Is it still only a title suit?
Constitutional bench for what? I mean, there's no constitutional issue.
To hear this case?
Only one, last one was raised during my petition, whether the Islam masjid is an essential part of Islam or not. And the court ruled that the old judgment of 1994 saying it is not, holds, and the masjid can be demolished, masjid can be shifted by any government.
Okay. I do thank you, but I do want to reiterate for the benefit of our viewers that this is a constitution bench that is now hearing this matter. So perhaps not as simple as a title suit anymore. We'll wait and see what happens in the court. On that note, we also slip into a very short break. We'll keep getting our viewers more on this developing story. Also, our focus continues to be on India's fight against Pakistan. We'll get you more on the other side.